Our first item is sales. On the format, our first item is sales, so we need to work out sales. Now, to find sales, we multiply sales units times selling price. So this is our working here. It will be, we'll multiply sales units times selling price. To save time, you just say sales in $1,000 to save time. Right. So sales units. Let's go and view sales units up there. Okay, so we are told that sales units are 200 in year 1, 800 in year 2, 900 in year 3, and 400 in year 4. So 200. So we have 200, 800, 900, 400. 200, 800, 900, 400. Okay. The next is our selling price. Yeah, you can just understand. I will provide you the answer later on, but you can still copy if you think you can be fast. So selling price we have 15, 18, 22, 22. Inflation. Inflation, you remember from the Fisher formula, we said inflation is calculated as 1 plus h. So inflation is h. So what is the inflation of selling price? If we go to the equation, first paragraph, alright? So we are told that selling prices, inflation is 4%. Here we are. So that's the same as 0.04. So it means it will be 1 plus 0.04, which will give us 1.04. This gives us as follows. In year 1, it will be 1.04 to the power 1. In year 2, 1.04 to the power 2. In year 3, 1.04 to the power 3. And in year 4, 1.04 to the power 4. Okay, now we want to find our sales value. Now to find our sales value, we'll be multiplying 200 times 15, the selling price, times inflation. 200 times 15 times inflation. So let me do this. I want you to understand what's happening. If I do this on Excel, because you'll be using Excel automatically in the exam, so 200 times 15 times 1.04. If you multiply, it will give you error. Okay? Now, how do we resolve this? It's giving us an error because of this power function. So in financial modeling, there is the way we deal with power. Right? How do we do it? So you do this 200 times 15, you multiply this times that times the power, open brackets, 1.04, then comma 1. Okay, let me do it separately. What I mean is this. Because you have to learn this skill, you take equals 200 times 15 times it, then you put power. Alright? After putting power, you put open brackets. Then you write this function 1.04. Then you put a comma 1. Then close bracket. Make sure you master this technique, then enter. So this is very powerful because you'll be very quick in the exam. If you have a question, you can let me know. Okay, so this is how we have calculated. I'll repeat this times 200 times 15 times power, open brackets, 1.04, 1. If it's 2 years, 1.04, 2. If it's 3 years, 1.04, 3, and so on and so forth. Okay. In year 2, it will be the same. This times that, you just change here, comma 2, like that. In year 3, the same, then it will be comma 3. So the same formula. You can drag if you want. If you drag, alright. If you drag, it will not give you the answers, the actual answer, but make sure you click here and check here. You just change and put 2. Then it will give you the actual answer. Here, you change and put 3 where there is 1. As well here, you put 4. Okay, so that's what you'll be doing in the exams to calculate the cells. Alright, so these figures will be transferred to the format. If you go to the format, these are cells. Alright, I hope we all know how to copy. We just put a plus sign like this, then we do it like this, plus, then I select one of them, this one. Alright, then enter. Then I can just copy, drag it like that. Then it means I've copied all these answers. Okay, this is also very important too. So it means in the exam, you need to write the format as quickly as possible because the format doesn't change. Write down the format as quickly as possible, then you start working, then copy. So that is much faster. Okay, let's go to variable cost. So variable cost is just the same as the cells. They all use sales units. So variable cost would be sales units times variable cost per unit. Right? So these are the same units: 200, 800, 900, 400. Let's look for the variable cost per unit. Here below, variable costs are 9, so it's 9 throughout. And inflation of variable cost is 5. We are told that variable cost inflation is 5%. So 9 throughout. You can just copy. Okay, inflation, it means year 1, it will be 1.05 to the power 1, 1.05 to the power 2, 1.05 to the power 3, 1.05 to the power 4 in each of the years respectively. Then to find now the cost, you'll be multiplying as we said. So 200 times 1 times 9 times power, open brackets, 1.05 to the power 1. Then you can drag the formula across. Okay, so once you drag, make sure you just click here and change. Where there is a 1, you put 2. Where there is a 1, you put a 3. Where there is a 1, you put a 4. So this is very quick. So those are variable costs. Okay, so as usual, these are the variable costs. So you can copy as usual. So the variable cost will be expressed as a negative. So you can start with negative. I hope you are following negative. Then you add this one. The next, why are we putting a negative? So that the answer appears as a negative in the format. So you drag across. That's okay. Because once they're in horizontal, it means this side will also copy the formula in a horizontal format. Other variable costs. Do we have other variable costs? Let's check. Okay, in this question we don't have other variable costs. I've tried to check. If they were there, you work out in the same way as variable costs. So you multiply the units times other variable costs per unit. so we don't have. This is just a format which I designed. Yeah, so we have nothing here. Then let's go to fixed costs. Our next line. So fixed costs, I think we have them. Right, so we are taught that incremental fixed costs of 500 per year in current price terms would arise as a result of producing a new product. Fixed cost inflation is 8%, so 500,000 each year. So inflation we are told is 8%, so 1.0 to the power 1, to the power 2, to the power 3, to the power 4. Now, fixed costs, they don't vary per unit. They are in total, so don't multiply by units, unless you are told that the fixed costs are per unit. But here they are already in total, so no need of multiplying by units. Right, so the usual thing would be, you'll be multiplying 500 times inflation rate, so times 1.08 to the power 1. So you can drag that. Then as usual, you just change. Where there was a 1, you put a 2. Here you put a 3, power 3, and you put 4. Okay. So that's the fixed costs. So let's copy to the sheet. So fixed costs, you start with minus, because if you want to express a figure as a negative, you start with minus. A positive, you start with plus. So you start with that. Then you copy. Just drag it across. Alright, so that's your fixed cost. Now at this level, let's find our profit, operating cash flow. So what you do is you add from sales to fixed cost. So you can set your formula right here. Right? So you can say sum, you need to calculate sum from B3 to B6. Right? Then what you do, just drag the formula across like that. It means you have done the calculation as quickly as possible. Okay, if you have a question, please, you can ask. Okay, the next is tax paid. So to calculate tax paid, we will use this profit. So you have to copy these profits. Oh, I thought there was a question. To calculate tax paid, you have to copy these profits, just the 4 profits, copy and go to the working. Where there is tax, what I've included this working because sometimes you can carry forward taxes. That's why I've included this working. Sometimes you might be required to carry forward. Right. So these are the profits. I will paste, special paste. Okay. So you can see I've pasted the profits here. Right. So what you do is you multiply the profits by the tax rate. Tax rate we are told is 20% in our question. So once you multiply, you get these amounts. So these amounts are going to appear in your format as tax. So 138, 1411, 2453, 1048. So those are the tax